All right, family, good morning to everybody. I hope everybody had a good day yesterday. Let's make today a better day, okay? Few things to talk about heading into this Thursday session. We always got to start with the market, right? So S&P 500 after this all-time high party the last few days was pretty quiet there on Tuesday, was once again quiet yesterday on Wednesday, and we're still here inside of this hourly squeeze heading into this Thursday morning session. So with the market being so strong, taking a breather here, consolidating on the hourly charts, what we're looking to do here is focus on the indexes is our quote-unquote compass. If we get the squeeze breakout to the upside, we could be looking for some momentum to the upside in the individual names. If this squeeze here fires to the downside and we're breaking support right here, you may expect the individual stocks to follow suit as well. So big picture thinking for the market, things are very strong right now. We've taken a breather over the last 24, 48 hours. Let's see if we can get a move outside of this squeeze today. If we can, depending which way this thing goes, that could shake up the rest of the stocks on your watch list. You always want to follow the big money. So when the index itself is in a squeeze, paying attention to that can be a good indication of the next move, not just for the index itself, but probably the majority of names on your watch list. So keep in mind, guys, S&P 500, QQQ, taking a breather the last few days. Are they resting for another move to all-time highs? Are we going to see this thing roll over? We'll find out here today. And I'm sure as many of you guys know, we got a little bit of Trump news once again, as we typically do. Republican Party voted yesterday to try to impeach the president. Doesn't look like the market really gives that big of a shit right now. I don't think he's going to get impeached, but I'm not here to talk about politics. And please, guys, I don't care about your opinion on politics. You shouldn't give a shit about my opinion on politics. Let's focus on the market, all right? So putting all that shit aside, let's take a look here at Facebook. So as you guys know, last week Facebook gets a little bit of negative news here on Thursday. It takes a good dump here below this level of support. It's came back like a champ, right? It hits the floor here and goes on this nice move to the upside. We did run up here towards that 204 resistance yesterday. It ultimately stopped right there. So beautiful move out the open yesterday. The brakes get pumped here at this 204 level of resistance. If you're looking for a continuation of the market to the upside, there's a good chance Facebook sees that same continuation. So very basic stuff here, guys. Support, resistance, potentially going to look for a breakout above 204. But if the market is weak, we could also look to short this thing beneath 204. Now, we don't have to sit here and try to guess which way this thing's going to go. You guys got to learn how to read the tape. So in the group this morning, guys, those of you in the Focus Trades fam, we're going to be keeping an eye here on Facebook, but we're going to be looking at the tape. As we open up here underneath this level of 204, do we see a lot of selling pressure on the ask? If it's too much selling pressure, we could get a fade underneath that level of resistance. If there's an absence of selling pressure and we see the bid continue to raise, you could get the breakout above 204. So basic levels of support and resistance can lead to good trades, but if you don't know how to read the tape and you don't understand the supply and demand behind the game, it's kind of a coin flip. The breakouts work when the buyers are taking control. Resistance shorts work when the sellers are taking control. So it's one thing to wake up. It's one thing to, identify a level of resistance here. Learning how to read the tape is going to be the game changer for you guys. So we've been focusing on that a lot in the group. For those of you guys who subscribe here on YouTube, learn how to read the tape. And if you don't know how, we can definitely help out with that. But nonetheless, Facebook underneath 204, it could be a nice breakout. It could be a nice rejection. Depending on the direction of the market and depending on the tape, that's one play we might be thinking about here today. All right, and oddly enough, Micron had earnings last night. So I thought earnings season was behind us. For whatever reason, Micron has earnings at an odd time. So nonetheless, they have earnings last night. They make a big move here in the after hours. Micron is a semiconductor stock. Oftentimes, a reaction in one of the names can really affect the other names in the group. My focus here today is going to be Nvidia. Now, I've got some long calls here in Nvidia that I bought days ago inside of the squeeze here during this quiet consolidation before the move, before the implied volatility started to spike. So what I'm going to be focusing on here today, guys, as far as Nvidia goes, if the market is strong, if this thing begins to head towards that 232 level of resistance, can we get a breakout? Now, it's the same concept here as we just discussed in Facebook. It's one thing to identify a level of resistance, and you can flip the coin and take your entry if it happens to poke its head above that level. But what really is going to matter here, guys, is the tape, the buyers versus the sellers. So with the potential catalyst for the semi names, with Micron exploding this morning after beating earnings, I will be looking for a continuation, a breakout above this 232 level here in Nvidia. Will I be looking for an additional entry? I don't think so. If you guys don't have a position yet, that could be a nice little play right there. But as I said, I kind of like to get calls, guys, before the move starts, before the IV spikes inside that consolidation. Heading into this morning, I'm about 70% on those calls. If we can break out, might be looking at 100% on this one. If we do end up fading, we got a few levels of support you can keep an eye on. But with Micron beating earnings, I will be paying attention to this thing, seeing if we can finally get that break above 232 here this morning. Now, speaking of squeezes, if you guys watched yesterday morning's prep video, we identified a few good-looking squeezes, and Tesla was one of them. I've mentioned over the last few days, guys, why Tesla is such an interesting stock right now, given where this thing is big picture-wise. It broke the squeeze yesterday after a lot of sloppiness early in the session, but it was a breakout out of the squeeze nonetheless, and the freaking thing finally hit its brand new all-time high. I'm not looking to trade this thing. I'm kind of treating this as a television show. It's good entertainment. We'll see what happens here, right? If you just look at the history of the stock, guys, up around this range, and granted, this is a brand new all-time high, but nonetheless, if we flip here to a weekly chart, putting aside the fact that we got an all-time high, this is, a pretty sketchy territory here for the stock historically. Maybe that's all done with. Maybe we're working our way towards new ground. There's also the potential for that dump. So I'm not going to give you guys a suggestion on how to trade Tesla here. I got no ideas on what you should do. I'm not going to be doing jack shit, but just respect the stock, respect historically what has taken place here time after time after time again on these big moves towards 390. Could history repeat itself? Absolutely. Could this be a new chapter for Tesla? Only time's going to tell. So I want to keep reminding you guys, I know this is a name in the headlines. You're seeing it all over Instagram, the stock universe on Twitter. Be a little bit careful. That's all I can suggest. So those are the things I'm looking at this morning, guys. Nvidia, Facebook, the market in a squeeze. I've got an AMD put spread that hit max profit yesterday. Just about max profit. I have 3 SPX iron condors. Those are all collecting premiums. My Nvidia swing is off to a great start. That's about it for me this morning, guys. So I appreciate you watching. I wish you the best of luck in today's session. And as always, if you're not in the Focus Trades group yet, you can look at the link in the description of this video. The group is $10 a month, guys. I promise you it's going to be the most hands-on, value-packed trading group out there, and I'll give you the first month free. So best of luck today, guys. Go kick some fucking ass. I'll talk to you all in the next morning prep video.